We're back. Look at
What's
this.
up?
We've got the boys. We're all back. It feels like we was going live every day for like a month, and then we've just like not been live for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked to each other basically in a month.
No.
I mean, for the most part.
Needed some
Everyone
time
just
away.
went scattered.
Yeah, Brett's been
Good
traveling.
morning,
Kurt's
Super
been
Boy.
traveling.
How are you this morning?
We're already out of sync, see?
Yeah, it's already happening. A little rusty.
Let's go around the room. Where is everybody? Kurt, where you at, man?
I'm at Heathrow Airport, getting ready to fly back to New York after 3 weeks in Ireland and Scotland off the back of that European Under-23 meet in Dublin, which was, by all accounts, a big success. A lot of fun. It was good.
Beautiful, mate. What about you, Sonny?
I'm coming from Hong Kong. Oh, look at that! I've got a welcome to Hong Kong. They know. AR Hong Kong.
Oh,
yeah. I'm in Hong Kong. Been here since last Wednesday, and just doing a bit of coaching and also just a little bit of touristing as well. It's been fun so far.
Beautiful. Are you up in a hotel room? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just in a hotel. I've got like a month stay in this hotel, and
Wow.
I got a free upgrade on the first day, which is always a nice touch.
nice. You got that speedy Wi-Fi too, huh?
So good. Best Wi-Fi I've ever had in my life. I'm loving it. Yeah, I'll upload real quick. Everyone's loving the Hong Kong look. Are we all from Hong Kong here? We got some Hong Kongers.
They must know from your IP address. They're just shipping it out. They're just feeding it to people in Hong Kong that like swimming.
Well, I'm back.
Awesome.
I'm back from my little trip. I got back from Bali, Singapore, Jakarta, did Australia, did it all. So I'm finally back and settling into life in Cali again. So the sun is doing its usual thing coming up, and it's going to be a beautiful day in Cali again. So
How's my boy Michael Clem doing?
he's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's got his health problem that he's dealing with in terms of the I don't know exactly the name of it. It's got some long name, but it's some neurological disorder. It affects his legs, and it's kind of working its way up a little bit. It's hit his calves, so he can't really hold himself up real well. So he's got these kind of prosthetic things that he's using on his legs now, but he can walk around. But yeah, you just don't know how those things are going to progress, and so it was a chance to get out there. And I don't know what Carrie's doing back there.
That's all right. Can't even hear her.
Don't you? God, it's loud as hell. I don't know how you can't
It's not
hear
that
it.
loud.
Okay. So he's doing his thing, but yeah, it's good. It's good to catch up with him. He's a good man, and he's got a big following. He does a lot of things for the community, and he's doing good stuff in Bali. And then we had some really good trips. So it was kind of just a little world tour like Kurt's doing. So it's nice to get out and see the world a little bit. It gives you some new perspectives and reminds you of some things. So yeah, it was really good to do it.
You saw your mommy?
Saw mom and dad. Yeah, got engaged.
Got
That's
engaged.
big, isn't it? Yeah, look at this.
Hang on. Oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
Oh, blink.
It's on cue. On cue.
Oh, let's go back again. Let's go live. Oh, there. It's always twisted on her. I don't know. There we go. Boom. There you go.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah,
Nice.
we got engaged. So did that, and yeah, kind of been doing all sorts of things. So yeah, nice to catch up with everybody again. It's good to
Plus
see
a
your
little
faces.
bronchitis.
Oh mate, the bronchitis. Do not get bronchitis. That's death. That's imminent death. You got to work your way out of that. I was flying back actually, and it was kind of hitting about as hard as it ever hit on the flight back. And man, I couldn't breathe. I was coughing. I sounded awful. I felt terrible for the plane because I was like,
gosh, dude, you're just
I was
infecting
one
everyone.
of those guys. I was that guy coughing, and no, I kept it pretty calm, but I just couldn't breathe the whole flight. And I was like, I'm gonna die on this flight.
Can you drop that little oxygen mask y'all keep talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So no, we had a good trip. It's been a whirlwind. Yeah, like it seems like a lot has gone on since the last time we got together. So it's nice to catch up with everybody again here. What about you, Nate?
It's the Olympic year. It's all happening. We're less than a year out. You can almost feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it from like the sponsors calling us. I think everyone wants to try to get into doing some sort of sponsorship as we lead up to this thing. All eyes are going to be on every single swim meet. Every little meet becomes a big meet in terms of the preparation. So it's we still got the whole war in Ukraine. Are the Russians going to be allowed to swim at the Olympics? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Is Caleb Dressel going to get diesel again? Is he going to get strong back in the pool? There's just so much going on,
Yeah. There's a lot of meets. There's a lot of meets just to finish off the year. There's a lot of meets in the next 3 months, really, when you look through them. So,
what is in the next 90 days or so? What's the last quarter look like, Kurt?
Well, I guess if you're looking at, for starters, it's start of September now. So all the swimmers that were probably racing worlds are getting back into their programs, you'd think, starting in September. We've got World Junior Champs first week of September in Israel. From a Aussie perspective, we've got Australian Short Course Champs mid-September. Asian Games in Hangzhou here at the end of September. And then we go into October. You got those 3 World Cup legs in Berlin, Athens, and Budapest. Or Pan Am Games in Buenos Aires in Argentina in late October. And then, we go from there. I think we've got European Short Course in December. And then you start getting into that. I know back in Australia, all those the state champs across December, January, the new year. But like I said, I think you see the swimmers divided into 2 very different groups here. The ones that missed world champs and are looking to get some race practice, those coming back from injury and those coming back from time away. So there's a lot of opportunities for them, of course, with world champs also in Doha in February as well. And then just to see how that connects in with those swimmers that have had a big international year already and just trying to get back into the program and get their Olympic campaign on track.
And then for us, we got college swimming about to start. There's already pictures. All the college teams are back together. I know Sonny's not a big fan of the short course yards and everything, but it is huge in America. And then we've got the Tier Pro Swim Series. Those meets are almost always long course now. Those are big stepping stones for the Americans leading up. And then when's World Championships? Doha? Is that February?
February. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are y'all going to that, Sonny?
If Brett's game, I'll go race with Brett. Only if Brett goes.
I think so. Look, I got an invite to come out and actually have VIP access, and they're going to put me up in a hotel and give me access actually to the World Championships too, and then the World Masters is straight after it. So it's like, well, I could go spend 3 or 4 weeks in Doha and be a VIP and get a little race in with Sonny in. Why not?
It'd be nice to see you do some coverage from there on pool deck, or do a wrap show from each night, because it's going to be a wild World Championships. It's going to be very odd. Like I said, a lot of swimmers coming back from injury or time away. Some swimmers that just want to keep, would Sarah drop in just to keep her record, Katie drop in and just to keep her World Championship record going in the 800. Would Kyle Chalmers pop in just to defend his 100 title? Like, he's the kind of guy that would just do that. I I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see a lot of one-off swims, in and outs kind of thing. A bit like the men's 4x1 freestyle relay for the Brit team. They probably go in, bash that relay out, do the job, get out, get back into training.
It's going to be interesting to see what country does what. Like, what's their strategy? Are they going to send their full team? Or are they going to opt out, or what? But there's still going to be a lot of money on the line, right? I mean, World Aquatics is forking over a bunch of money for these world titles, and you still become a world champion. So, if you're looking for a paycheck,
we've got to bump the incentive up, don't you? Because it's not a huge incentive unless you put the money on the line to come out of your, especially for those in the Southern Hemisphere, to come out. It's a long way to get there. Even from the US, it's a long way to get in there. And
but
I'm sure
USA Swimming pays for us to go over there. That's all paid for. But what do you make to win a world title? Like 20 grand or something, right? I don't know what it is at this meet, but there's going to be a lot of money out there.
I think it's only the teams that have quite hard, tough trials that are going to maybe be different. I think all the smaller nations that have got their Olympic qualification, they'll go. if you've already got your Olympic qualification badge, you'll go. It's the America, the Australia, the Britain, the Canada. They're the only teams I think are going to be like up in the air whether or not they go.
And what about Hong Kong, mate? You got some insights into Hong Kong? What's happening out there? Who's going from Hong Kong?
Hong Kong will go. Hong Kong will go, yeah, for sure.
Siobhan?
It's probable, yeah. You've got to remember, someone like Siobhan's qualified for the Olympics. She's going to the Olympics now. That's done and dusted. There's no will she, won't she? Hong Kong are simple. You get the FINA A time, you go to the Olympics. They will take every single swimmer that gets a cut. Right now, three people have got a cut. Siobhan, Ian, who swims at Virginia Tech with Sergio Lopez in the 53, and they've got a 200 backstroke girl. So they've got 3 qualifiers so far.
Right.
Siobhan hit a PB in the 53 recently as well, and
this weekend just gone. Yeah, she went 24.4.
Yeah.
New national record. She's on poolside. They've got like all the national records. She has the 200 breast short course national record from like when she was 16, 9 years ago of 2:23. She's mega talented. Did a good set tonight. Yeah.
Did she? Did you get footage of that?
Of the what?
The 24.4.
No, it was happened the day before I arrived.
Oh, okay.
But she pushed about 5:26 points in training tonight. So she's looking good.
Wow.
And Asian Games is a big factor for her as well. Like that's a huge part of her.
Kurt, it's the commies. It's the commies over here. For these guys here, it's the commies. You win Asian Games, that's just massive, right? So yes, it's kind of created this really long, extended season because she's been going since everyone who went to Worlds has been going. She's been going since September last year, and actually, because she had an injury that took her out from Worlds last year, she kind of got back to it a little earlier than everyone else anyway. So she's on this like 16-month-long season, and already we're thinking about the Olympics because, that's under a year away. So she's got a long, kind of crazy long season, but she's managing herself really well. She's doing some great work, and
So you're going to Hangzhou?
No, I'm not. I'm going to see Brett.
But she's going.
She's going, yeah.
Okay. Because that's where Asian Games are.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go because that's where we make clocks.
You should definitely go. It's in like 3 weeks and 4 days because we write it on every practice how long we got.
That's Soon Young's hometown, by the way.
There we go. He might be there.
Hey, check out this special guest.
Sure.
Megsy!
Oh, wow.
What up, girl?
G'day, guys. It might be a bit windy, so I'm just going to try and the Wi-Fi might not be as great. So
Flip your phone sideways. Yeah,
Bingo.
Full screen. Boom. Get the full name in the back.
Great.
What's the name of this thing in the back here? Amarantos.
yeah.
Okay. Where are you at?
I'm actually in Mykonos in Greece.
Oh, Mykonos.
Looks horrible.
Lovely place.
It's pretty horrible. So it's been pretty cool. So just having a little holiday, which is nice.
Fill us in. I saw you at the Olympic. You went to the first Olympic stadium. You were doing a workout. What have you been doing the last month?
Yeah. So we went to the stadium. So it was the first. I think it was 1896. The first modern Olympics was held there, so that was pretty special. And we don't really do normal holidays, so we thought we'd do a workout in the stadium because why not? Like it's fun. So we actually did every stair. So we ran up every stair. And it was about over 5,000 steps. So my calf muscles today are hurting, but it was cool. It was like I don't know, it was really special. I went into the Olympic Museum as well, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, just to be surrounded by so much history, and I felt like really connected to the stadium, and that's where it all began. And it's what you have when you're a kid and you have a dream, and it was cool. So it's cool where it all started from.
That's awesome. When are you leaving Greece? Are you going back?
No, I still got 2 weeks, so we're going to another island tomorrow. So we're just kind of island hopping at the moment. So I'm gonna try and work on this tan.
You're looking
good.
tan.
Yeah, I brought my goggles over, so I've been doing a little bit of swimming, which is nice. Swimming in the islands here I think it should be a sport. It's better than following the black line at the moment.
I actually have an Olympic ring, beautiful ring. I actually bought it in Mykonos when I was there.
There you go.
Yeah, so go
That's
down
pretty
and have a
cool.
look at the jewelers down in Mykonos. There's nice jewelers down there. You might pick up a nice
Yeah,
Olympic ring.
there's some pretty big bling here, that's for sure.
Yeah, good spot, party
Try
town.
I can.
She's saying she's working out, but she's doing a little partying. Don't worry about that, Mykonos.
Masters, yeah, I've definitely said no to the Masters. So
Do you want to say yes though?
no,
Are you
Me,
sure?
I-
Everyone's
Yeah.
doing it. Everyone's
Me,
starting to
yes.
do it. Look, Brett got a suit and
Yeah.
goggles.
What about what
Correct.
Andrew
Yes.
Lauterstein's doing at short course? Andrew Lauterstein bashed out, what, a 22 something at short course?
He's not doing
Victorian short
Masters.
course?
He races every year, and Andrew races every year.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
36.
Set the scene.
He's-
It's Doha, World Masters Championships,
Mm.
mixed medley relay, our favourite event. You jump in, beautiful backstroke leg. Somehow some a PB, 58.5. Brett's fiance dives in breaststroke leg, beautiful. She's on PB form.
boom.
I have to summon a courage to 100 fly. No one wants it, but it means Brett can anchor. It means Brett can anchor, and he goes all in. Flip 21.9. It hurts. He comes back in 32, but we still take the win. Still take the win. It's a 21 to the 50. It's 31 on the back end, but we take the win. We're world champions, Megan. Tell me you don't want that. Tell me.
Oh, gave me goosebumps, Sonny. That just gave me goosebumps.
And just to make it better, Kurt and Nate are on the mics. Kurt and Nate are commentating it live on Poolside. I want this. Come on, Megan.
Oh, that sounds pretty intriguing, actually. Maybe I'll keep my speedos on. I'll keep the body kind of ticking over the shoulders. So never say never. I'll never say never. I'll never say no.
That's it. You're right there. Why not?
That's it.
And actually,
Dangerous.
American Olympic trials this year or next year, they're having the Masters National Championships at the same time, right?
Yes.
In that pool, am I correct
No,
on
he's
that?
down the
Oh,
road,
no,
right?
it's
No.
at IU.
Yeah.
It's the next pool over. But we could go to we could watch the swimming and then go compete and then run back and watch the Olympic trials again.
Yeah, we're not that
Motivation.
It's getting bigger all the time, the Masters competition. Like Len just announced the European Masters short course champs, and that's super popular. So every year it comes around, it's just more and more participants, and obviously former athletes or weekend warriors with disposable income. The kids have left home, and they want to be as fit as possible.
Actually, I'm just
I
about
like
to announce a public partnership with Swim Strong Dryland here, Kurt. This little sponsor underneath you, Swim Strong Dryland. They're going to come onto my website, and we're going to offer some dryland, 4 different dryland masters programs on my website. That's coming this week, so we're going to drop that. And they've put that all together, and they showed me what they did. It's really good stuff. So now people can come on and get swimming workouts and Sonny's website, my website, and then they can get some dryland workouts as well, which will be professionally done. So that's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, the Masters thing is building. I get people from all around the world reaching out to me. I know Sonny does too. So it's like there's thousands of people out there wanting to do this. It's fun, you know.
Talking of things
Yeah,
going on
it
right
is
now,
fun.
I mean, I was going to say Adam Peaty's announced a Masters meet in the UK, but it's under flat because it clashes with a very popular oldest time Masters meet in the same town. So, but also Adam Peaty this weekend has done his second Sprinting with the Stars, and they've hired the London Aquatic Centre out. And basically, you're a kid, you enter the breaststroke, you race against Adam Peaty. You race the freestyle, David Popovich is there. You race him. The women have their, there's women swimmers there as well, elite women's. I think maybe Sydney Pickram's there, Anna Hopkin. Really cool event. So it doesn't matter what stroke you enter, you rate, and they have like a head start. So the kids go, and then basically Adam Peaty with his new chest tattoo chases them down.
Oh, he got another new tattoo.
Oh, I got another tat.
He got another tattoo?
So Sonny, and your Petey's in full tilt for Paris now.
I have no idea. I know as much as you, Kurt. I mean, I've seen him race kids at the Swimming with the Stars, but I mean, yeah.
Is that on? Is that actually happening now? Swimming with the Stars.
It's happened today. It looked pretty cool. I mean, they're running some cool events, and I mean, I think clinics for kids. And I know you just download, bro. I think they're really informative and they're really good. But I think like there's something special about actually standing on the blocks and racing someone like Popovich right now, and he's shaking everyone's hands afterwards. He's giving them a pat on the back, and I think that's super cool. Stand on the blocks, looking eye to eye at someone like a Luke Greenbank. That's so cool. Good idea.
I think the thing we've lost in swimming as well is that, like, the magic of a handicap. When you know what your personal best time is, and you can get everyone like bang on, and everyone goes off at a different starting time, and everyone gets to finish against their favorite swimmer within a second of each other. It's super exciting. It's really fun. Just adds another element that sometimes we forget in elite swimming.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is going on, Nate? That's happening. So I know, Sonny, you mentioned you're coming out to me, and we're going to do some stuff together. You're going to be sleeping in this bed back here, by the way.
Oh, yes.
So Sonny's going to come out for a period of time. When's that happening, and what's going on before that?
I mean, I'm here in Hong Kong now until the 19th of September. So the next day, the team go and fly to Hangzhou for the Asian Games. So I'm helping out with the prep all the way until that, and I then fly to Tokyo, which is mainly it's a vacation. My girlfriend's meeting me out there, but I'm also going to check out hopefully Mizuno and Arena Japan, some cool stuff, like a couple of programs, and then I'll be making my way to LAX. And you're going to be getting back from your little second world tour, and we're gonna make some videos. I want to go visit some programs, and I think that between the two of us, we can make some world-class content.
Yeah, speaking of world-class content, Brett made some world-class content yesterday. Spent 3 hours with Dave Salo, Sprint Salo, 3 hours, bro.
I did.
Yeah, tell him what happened, Brett.
That's pretty cool.
So I went to Salo's ranch. He's got a ranch. He named it after his dog. His dog's named Pace, and we went down to the Pace Ranch and down in San Diego. Beautiful spot too, by the way. He's got about 20 acres down there, and gorgeous. And so we go down, we have a nice lunch, and we do some filming. And it's real hot out there, real dry, real hot. So we decided to set up outside. So we put the camera up, we set up, and then the dogs were kind of playing around. So Carrie had to take the dogs away to get them off the screen. So we're sitting there. We have a beautiful conversation for about 3 hours. And when I say beautiful conversation, we talked about some stuff. We got some stuff down. It was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I go back, I check the footage. The camera had overheated at about the 30-minute mark. And so we got the first 30 minutes and we lost about 2 hours worth of beautiful content. I mean, we talked about some stuff, real good stuff, especially this topic. Yeah, Sonny, that's exactly how I felt. This topic of I asked him to state the case against aerobic base. Give me the case against aerobic base. And he went in and he detailed it out and he verbalized it and we got it all on film. And then no, we didn't. The camera had overheated, didn't get it. So I'm devastated. So I'm actually going to go to practice tomorrow morning, and I'm going to take the first 30 minutes and I'm just going to give my little spiel of what happened. And then Nate's going to cut back into the practice tomorrow, and we're going to start talking about some of this stuff again. I'm going to re-film it. Yeah, not real happy with my camera gear right now. Pretty pissed.
Took an L over the weekend.
The conversation was too hot.
Yeah, it was. Actually, you know what? Speaking of too hot, we talked about Bob Bowman. We talked about Caleb Dressel, and he went in. So, oh my God, I'm so upset with myself.
Who do we have tomorrow?
It was just too spicy. Too spicy.
It was too spicy.
Tomorrow we have Mia O'Leary.
Damn.
Mia. Yeah, you know Mia, Megan.
Yeah, she trains at Bond.
Yep.
Is that? I'm pretty sure with Flynn Southam.
Yep.
Yeah, she's an up and coming superstar of Oz Juniors. So she's trying to make that leap, obviously, into the Oz Open team. So, and I just saw that the World Juniors is on, I think, in like 8 days, maybe or so.
Yeah.
I saw Flynn Southam's getting ready for that. So he still qualifies with that, which is pretty cool. He's obviously had like a little bit of a break after Worlds, and then he's keen to get some more racing in, which is cool. So yeah, I think he wants to improve a little bit more on that 100 freestyle from Worlds especially. So yeah, it's good. It'll be interesting to see what Mia says. She's a really, really good athlete coming up for this.
Yeah, I think
women.
Kurt, what you just did out there is shine light on these young up and coming kids, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So like you probably know more of them now than I do, but from what you just did out at the European kind of under 23. So yeah, what was that experience like to see some of those young ones?
Yeah, it was a party like atmosphere, and the kids, that next generation, they just, for lack of a better expression, but they just kill you with kindness. They're all so nice and they're all so friendly, and when it comes to racing time, they can really step up and do some damage. And we discussed before, Dan Whiffen and Irish Swimming, and I got to do a big shout out to Sarah Keane, who's the CEO of Swimming Ireland, and she's also the president of the Irish Olympic Federation. She just put on just a fantastic show. It's the first time that I've had a major swim meet in Ireland in over a decade. So yeah, it was a big step for them. The crowds were fantastic. I co-commentated with Andy Bree, former two-time Olympian breaststroker. He's commentating the races, running up and down the pool deck barefoot, going mental, and Ireland topped the medal table, which was great for them. And Dan Whiffen went at 14:35.7. It was only 0.88 off his PB in the 1500. Mona McSharry won the 50, 100, 200 triple in the breaststroke, and they're really close. Irish, they're really close between those two to winning a medal at the Olympics next year, and hopefully they can do that and break the door down. And I don't think they're too far away from hosting a European championship meet there in Ireland. Yeah, it's a great place to be. But some brilliant swimmers, even from the US. It was great to see Isabel Stadden race there. She out of Cal Berkeley, a backstroker. She's going to be something special. I think she just has that X factor. Sven Schwartz, young German boy, went like a 7:41.7. Germany just has so much depth in both men's and women's distance freestyle, and
ridiculous.
And you throw in Isabel Gose as well, who had a brilliant world championships, and she won the 4.8 1500 free triple. So
were the Chinese there?
No China. It was the only visiting countries were US. The South African boys came, Sates and Coetzee. They had a pretty good welcome back after missing Worlds, and I think there were a couple from Zimbabwe as well. So
it was a European meet, but you could get invited to come.
Yeah, just had some invitationals as well. So just to open it up, and then obviously if you were first, if the American won it, and they'd be first, gold medalist, and then you'd have first European, visitor kind of visitor thing. So we made it work. It was big music, big atmosphere, and I think it's something that any swimmer that went there would be pretty excited to go back and do it again. So got a first look at Peter Mitson as well, Bulgarian kid that. Set those world junior records. He's a really cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy as well, and definitely he's going to be
big?
something.
He's
not as big
dude?
as you think. Yeah, he's not as tall as you'd think. But again, just lovely. They're also nice, such nice personalities, and they know. I think this next generation understands with swimming. If you don't promote yourself, then no one else is going to do it for you. They need so they're on the socials. And obviously Dan Whiffen's the poster child for this. He knows he's got to tell you about it, and he's after it. And he's doing a great service for the sport, and
for sure.
they have to do this. And just watching, just a side note as well, but watching the World Athletics Champs as well, and I was just so awesome to see Noah Lyles come out. Obviously the sprinter, US, won the 100, 200 double. I think the first time since Bolt, and he's like, "I'm the world champion," and then he turns on his US other sports, and he's like, it upsets him when he sees whoever winning the the NBA title and calling themselves world champions. He's like, or the baseball or whatever, the World Series. He's like, no. That's just in America. Like, this is world championships, mate. This is what world champion means. So the NBA guys were a bit upset by it. But it's.
I love that. I love that he did that. He picked the wrong sport though, man. He should have gone with NFL. Just go NFL. Like he went NBA. First of all, he went after all his brothers, all his rich brothers, famous, and they're all like the best the best basketball players in the world play in the NBA. It's a world
Yeah.
league. Like, it's so stupid. Like, and he just kept harping on the NBA. I was like, go NFL, go NFL. But no, he wouldn't go there. And then he just opened him up, and then they've clipped it and they've put this out. This thing's gone viral. I love that he's, getting a voice and he's putting it out there and he's winning world titles and that. But like, he came in too hard with the wrong message, and he looks like an idiot now. He really does.
No, I like it. I like it because the same as you look at the Premier League here in England. It's the best. The majority of the best players in the world play in the Premier League. You win the Premier League, you're not the world football champions. So I think it's nice just to see some Americans, not afraid to stand up to, like you said, some guys that are paid insane amounts of money, and sometimes they probably push it over the top. But maybe you're right. It's a better example in football than it is in NBA. But still, like you said, to have the world champions on your hat it's very silly.
Yeah, you just got a lot of people off his side as an American. You don't need all those guys hating you. You need them to love you and embrace you. But he just went straight for the hate. He got it.
And it's just swimming and track and field. It's never going to be basketball and football. It's just not. And all these people want to say that. It's just not. It's not ever going to be. Ever.
Well, track and field's got a better chance because at least you can see their faces as they run. You can't see a swimmer.
Certainly helps, but like there's so much track and field. Like I don't really know anything about track and field, and it's hard to follow just from me because there's hundreds of events. This is what swimming has a problem with too, right? It's like you turn on the TV, you're watching swimming, you're like, what is this? Like what? Unless you're in swimming, how do you know?
Yeah.
And now you got jackpot bonus points that if you go out fast. No, just kidding.
Track and field has more money than swimming, and they also have like the benefit of like different stuff going on. So between heats, whatever, you go and see a guy throw a ball and jump and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm joking.
It's a really heavy ball.
Yeah. It's a really heavy ball, like 6 pounds. No, I don't know. Track and field is still a long way in the future, like advanced in financial, sponsors. Like you can be like pretty good, like as in like a junior GB athlete, and you can have an Adidas or a Nike sponsor that's paying like solid money, like 6 figures money. You can be the best swimmer in the world and not have that contract if you come from a certain country. So,
Caesar Cielo.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what can help as well. The factor that in the US, the college system, you know what they race track? They race in meters. They race in the metric system. They don't race in yards. The last 100-yard race in the NC2As was 1975. So when you can go and watch a meet in, track and field college, the times all correlate with the rest of the world. You know how fast that is. You know that's where they sit. You can compare it. Whereas then when we go back into the yard system, and, I love America. It's a country that's been fantastic to me. But you want to know why college swimming isn't as popular as it should be and doesn't get the kudos that it deserves is because you're not racing in meters. Change it to meters and they will come and the interest will come and the international, viewpoint.
And America will get better at swimming. That's like the biggest thing for me, right? It's like if America switched, we can't. We have all these yards pools. We got thousands of yards pools. It's not going to happen.
Well, I don't know, Nate. The debate against that is that the Americans are better because they swim yards because their skills are better. Their underwaters are better. Their turns, their starts. That's what everybody says. Mia O'Leary just said that on the podcast.
Yeah, she said that we're better at underwaters and she's got to go back and get better underwaters. But guess what? They're out swimming us. Like there's 12 girls in Australia that beat our best girl in the 100 freestyle. It's crazy.
Maybe
that being aside, that's a good point, Kurt. Very good point.
Well, it is. I get tired of swimmers complaining, and especially those that are just obsessed with the college system. And I get it. It's tradition. It's history. But it just, at what point? How long can this go on for? It just seems like a pretty simple change. Am I fair to say that college swimming is dying?
No. College swimming is thriving. And they love college swimming.
You would say thriving. I would say stagnating.
No. College swimming was the best it's been ever this year. No, people love it. No, it's not stagnating. But all I was going to say on the point you was making is do the athletes, like the track and field, do they have like an indoor season and an outdoor season? How do they get 2 seasons? And like, why can't the swimmers get a yard season and a long course season? Do yards for September and October, and then go long course from November onwards. Like,
I mean, well, we do. I mean, in America, there's a short course season that runs basically September to May, and then the whole summer is long course. That's how
the whole summer. The whole summer after 9 months of yards.
68 days are long course. No.
Well, if you think college swimming is going so well, go have a look at NC2A's college on socials, on Instagram, and have a look at the views, and then compare the views of the swimming to the track and field college views, and then it's not night and day. It's like the universe is different.
But that's just comparing sports. That's like saying watch a Premier League versus the world champs in anything. Like, it's not comparable. Like,
it's two college sports. It's surely track college and swimming college are two very comparable sports.
Two college football teams can get 80,000 people come watch them play. Like, it's just because it's college, it's not comparable. College swimming is doing very well.
Yeah, college swimming is doing very, very well. Yeah.
It is interesting, like this, swimming is this small sport, and then inside of swimming are all these other niches. And one of the niches is college swimming, right? And like, you guys see it all the time. I know we see it in our comments. Sonny certainly sees it in his comments. People send me emails about Sonny and how this guy hates short course yards. This guy's a piece of junk, because he's such a hater.
I love yards. I love watching yards.
They freaking love yards, man. They really do.
They're all
I know Megs and I hate it, so
yeah.
I just don't get it. Like, there's nothing to compare it to. Like, you guys, I mean, it's college, but there's nothing. Like, Australians, we don't get it, and there's no point for us to follow it because we don't actually know if it's fast or if it's not. We only go by the records. Obviously, that's fast because he broke a record. And for us, it's and for the rest of the world, it's like, yep, they're breaking records. It must be fast, but it's just annoying because you could swim like 4 strokes. So like your free swimming is actually not very fast. It's just your turns. You're executing your start and your turn. So
yeah, but the the 500,000 Americans watching it don't care if the 3,000 Australians aren't watching.
Yeah, but just
it,
put it to meters, and you probably have a little bit more interest in it. Like Kurt said, like you would probably get more views if you put it in meters. I guarantee you'll probably get a lot more people watching it and a lot more people maybe wanting to go into that system because they want to swim meters, and it's like short course.
College swimming it's the last team sport in swimming. Like, without the ISL, college swimming is the last time people, and more than ISL. Who did you support in ISL? Did you just pick a team out of a hat, or did you know one of the swimmers on a team? College swimming, people die for their team. Like, it's a team like nothing else, and that will get people watching. And to be completely frank, why do they care if some guy in Australia or UK watches NCAA? Like, people love it. They go crazy for dual meets. They go crazy for conference. And I think it's really cool. Watch it. Honestly, it's freaking awesome. Like, I love watching NCAAs. It's an epic meet.
Yeah, and Americans don't go to swim in Australia. Australians go to swim in America. It's the other way around.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I would be so much more interested, and I know they don't care if, like, I'm watching or other Aussies are watching, but I would probably follow it more because I'd understand or I'd get straight away the meters. Like, if it was in meters, I'd be like, oh, that's a fast time, or damn, like, that's really slow, or I would just have so much more interest in it if it's meters, short course meters. Whereas yards, I'm like, yeah, cool, no idea. And I don't have any interest in following it. So, and some of the swimmers, I'd like to follow their career through, through their swimming career, but in yards.
Well, I think the point you're making is that all sports have gone into this entertainment world. It never used to be about entertainment, right? It used to be about competition and
who's the fastest person in the world,
team against teams, things like that.
Yeah.
So it was always about holding a trophy up and having a competition. Now it's about eyes and eyeballs and like Kurt just said, having an event. Right, like he just went to an event where it was more than just a competition, and that's where sport is going. I think that's what you're saying is like, look, if we want eyeballs on college swimming in the future, you got to turn it into an event that everybody can relate to. And I think that's your point, which is a fair point. I don't know if Americans are even considering at all changing it to, away from yards. That's their baby. That's their thing. And all the pools are built for yards, set for yards. Like I don't see it happening anytime in the future. But
were you
right.
Were you at NCAA's the last time they did it in short course meters? That was a long time ago.
Like 2004. No,
2004. That's what it was. You were just out.
Yeah.
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 They made this little switch and they did it NCAA's in short course meters.
And I hated it. I thought it was terrible. Like at the time.
I think there was a bunch of records broken. I think Simon Burnett was there.
Yeah. No, I think Fred Briscoe broke the world record.
21-1 maybe 21-2.
Yeah. No, it was quick. Auburn destroyed that meet. They won easily. I think that might have been the George Bavell era where they'd gone in and just dominated.
The hammer of
justice.
The hammer of justice.
Yeah. Well, they just had Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago as well. I heard that was I heard it was quite an experience.
Speaking of events that are dying, Kurt, I heard the Commonwealth Games is pretty much dead.
Yeah, it's looking for a new host. Obviously, Melbourne. The premier there he got the books and saw that it was going to cost a lot more than they thought, and so and then
so they burned $250 million to get out of the contract.
Well, that's how bad it was. That's how bad the deal was, I think. And I love or hate Dan Andrews as the premier. I think it takes a fair bit of guts, especially in Australia, to pull the pin on something that I know Australians and Megs would agree are very, very hardcore passionate about. But then Gina Reinhardt, who's one of Australia's wealthiest people through mining magnate who loves swimming, and make no mistake about Gina, whatever you think, and I disagree with her on most topics ranging from politics to the environment and beyond, but this woman saved swimming in Australia, and what she did to help the swimmers and help Swimming Australia out of a big hole post London in 2012. She's been a huge supporter of swimmers since that time, and you saw her. She was there in Fukuoka and in the crowd with with all the parents of the swimmers as well. And there's the swimmers who are swimming now. Kate Campbell comes to mind as well, but that would be retired if it wasn't for Gina, and swimmers that are still going as well. She's obviously a big supporter of Kyle and Kaylee and all the big names. And so Gina's a big part of that, and she wants it to come to Queensland. Whether that will happen, I'm not too sure, but certainly she's a big factor in the success of why Australia topped the gold medal tally in the World Championships, and why they've gone from probably their darkest hour in the modern era in 2012 to the best that they've almost ever been at World Champs this year.
So we need a sugar mama. Is that what you need? We need Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Hey, can you mind dumping a few million over here?
Yeah.
No,
Melinda Gates.
Money and incentives are very important, right? I mean, America offered like $1 million that if you're on Team USA and we win these relays, that we'll split all the money up and everyone can get a few $1,000. And it's just the most ridiculous communist thing I've ever heard in my life. You're not on that relay, bro. You're not swimming on that relay. If you're not in the morning relay, if you're not on the afternoon relay, you don't get $1 million. That's the way it should be. Instead, now they're, you win all these relays and we'll give you each $5,000. And all these guys that swim open water, they get $5,000, and the breaststrokers, we'll give them $5,000 too. That's not a very good incentive. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like Gina Reinhardt stroking checks to swimmers in Australia is a good incentive.
Yeah, we all need one of those.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt, that's for sure. And we saw obviously Kyle and Matt Temple going back to play a bit of park footy, and then I think the takeaway from Kyle is, he thinks Paris is going to be his last Olympics, but he's not going to retire. He said he wants to defend his world title. That's why I thought maybe he'll pop into Doha in February and maybe have a float. If not, he'll be back for the next World Championships as well. You just never know with Kyle what he's going to do. That's for sure, which always makes it exciting. And then got some good news for that men's 4x1 as well. William Yang, who obviously was a big part of that 4x1 as well, and underwent back surgery this year, and he's back into his rehab. And He's working with a big gymnastic strength group there in Sydney that I know very well. So hopefully William Yang can get back to his best, and that's going to be great for the Australian men's 4x1. It's probably a similar kind of rehab, prehab kind of gymnastic strength that you've seen Cam McAvoy implement as well. A lot of body weight stuff, a lot of just kind of not just fixing the problems, but that prehab is a big word starting to come in for a lot of these swimmers as well now, making sure that you can strengthen yourself so those injuries don't happen in the future as well.
What about the exclusive on the Cam McAvoy interview? You know,
dude, I just ordered my rings, bro. I'm going to be doing these ring things, bringing my legs all the way up, holding with one arm.
It's interesting. We've got these organizations that cover swimming news, and yet one of the greatest exclusives in the history of swimming news doesn't get any coverage at all. It's always funny. But where is Kurt? Why is he whispering? Can we get a walk around with the phone?
He's in the airport.
I think he's at the airport. There he is.
Just in the Virgin Lounge.
Why are you whispering?
Sorry, that was the flight attendant who was just telling me my flight looks like it's going to board soon. So I think I'm gonna
safe travels.
Bow out. But yeah, I'll be back in New York. A few things I wanted to. William Yang's coming back. We saw Chelsea Hodges, of course, part of Australia's 4x1 medley relay winning team. There at the Olympics in Tokyo. She's come back from that second hip surgery up at Queensland Short Course. Looks like she's had a good comeback. And Mitch Larkin now under Vinny Chase there, back from that shoulder surgery that he had where his subscaps got completely ripped off the bone. So it was a really intense recovery for him. So he's really charging, looking for his fourth Olympics if he can qualify for Paris next year. And looks like he's targeting that 100, 200 backstroke. So Larkin not done with yet either.
Interesting. Right. Hot news. Thanks, Kurt.
Ciao, guys.
Good, mate.
I'll speak to you soon.
Travel safe.
Bye.
Later.
Ciao,
Kurt's so committed. He was ready to miss his flight to get that in. What a guy.
I thought he was going to be.
Man bun looks good too.
Yeah. The swimming whisperer.
So going back to the Cam McAvoy interview, that was probably our top listen podcast in like the last 10 months or something. Maybe more than that.
That was awesome. Honestly, everywhere I've been since that interview, people come up to me and they're like, hey, what do you think of that interview? And I'm like, yeah, it was freaking awesome. And they're like, is it this is the thing I want to talk about quickly. People hear this stuff and they don't believe it. Like I've had this sort of thing with coaches forever. Like a coach will come up to me and be like, oh, I've heard Ben doesn't swim that like much volume. No, he doesn't. But does he actually not? Right, here's his workouts from ISL. Like you can see him all. This was on the lead up to him being world champion. Oh, so he doesn't do that? No. And then they go back to their program and they do volume. And all these people come up to me and they're like, so is this really what Cam's doing? I'm like, yeah, this is what Cam's doing. Like you heard his story. Like the most telling thing was he didn't do anything for a year and swam quicker than he did in season on this program. Stop just doing the same crap if you're a coach. Like work it out yourself. But yeah, seriously. UK, Hong Kong. People are coming up to me at pools and they're like, wow, what an interview. It was brilliant, Brett. Thank you for
appreciate it, mate. Well, the funny thing is what people don't fully realize is Cam actually wrote a paper. Look at this. Strength and movement. He actually wrote a thesis, like a paper, before he started he's got formulas and everything.
Nerd.
He's got little flow charts, formulas. Yeah, like super nerd. He's got pictures. No, this is a thesis. So Cam wrote a thesis and sent it to me before he started his training 9 months ago. Wrote it all out, and so at the start of the interview, before we got it up and going, I said, "Listen, Cam, you can't give this stuff away. It's too valuable. It's too good." And so yeah, Sonny, in what people are saying is like, "Is this serious? Is Cam really doing this? Cam's written a thesis on this, and then he's gone out and executed it." And I said to him, "Mate, you need to hold on to this information. I've got it in front of me, which is nice. I can read through it." And he's doing incredible stuff. And it is. And that's why I said in the interview, it's going to change the way we think about swimming, because he's actually put it down on paper, and he can go out after, hopefully, for his sake, he goes out and wins an Olympic title off this. And does what he maybe gets under 21 off this as well. So it's like he's got it all planned out, and then he can go and tell the world and sell it, but it's real. It's happening. He's doing something completely out of the box in terms of like when I sat with Salo, Salo's written a book called Sprint Salo 30 years ago. So like these concepts aren't new to Dave Salo or to the world necessarily, and then I've used them in my training to coach Olympic champions, world record holders. So like the concepts of what Cam is putting into his thesis are similar, but he's just taking it to a next level where he's really focused on 50 performance. Dave and I both talked about the fact that ours relates, to sprinting and swimming and endurance primarily for the 100. Cam has taken it to the next level and shifted the focus primarily to the 50, where it's really just top end speed and taking that to another level. So in that respect, it's really cool what he's doing. And yeah, it was really, really good to get the interview. And yeah, it's nice to throw a little shade on those organizations that won't give us any love,
Just to clarify, someone asked this question. That the issue is that they are only out for themselves, and they will happily put down a swimmer, a coach, just to get clout, and to get money and to get attention. They're not actually good for the sport. All they've done was banish the ISL and talk negative about the ISL and whine about the ISL. And the ISL was the best thing the sport had in such a long time. It wasn't perfect. No one ever thought it was perfect, but it didn't need, they could have supported it in any sort of way. And I've heard a story behind the scenes, which I don't feel comfortable sharing, that just makes me hate them even more. So, yeah, I'll tell you guys after we go.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, listen, there's competition in every aspect of life, right? And some people do well with competition. Some people embrace competition. Other people try and squash their competitors. So for those people saying they don't understand the shade, we're for competition. We're for Sonny and I compete against each other in respects, in some ways. And here we are as brothers coming together on a show for the betterment of the sport. Yes, that's what we do. And then there's other organizations that want to squash you and destroy you and
just
put you out of
take anything that you create and just make it their own.
Take anything you create and pretend it's theirs, and then don't give you any credit and rip you off all the time, and
that's exactly
constantly trying to squash you, won't let people come on your show, go and steal the people that are on your show and get them all sorts. Like there's so many inner workings, guys. It's just not the way that we do business. Clearly, we're for swimming. And then listen, Swimming World does a great job. They're for us, they say to Nate, hey, how can we use what we have and use what you have and put it together, and collectively we can make swimming better. And then there are other organizations that we know of that just are trying to actively squash us and destroy us. And that's not cool. I'm not going to stand for it. You think that we're just going to walk away and run and hide? It's not going to happen,
But also, you guys can enjoy everything you want, and you have every right to enjoy what you want to enjoy. We're not telling you not to enjoy something. So, you enjoy whatever content you want, and there's plenty of great stuff out there beyond us as well.
Oh, and I don't not look at anything just for the sake that we're in competition. I look at everything. I see everything that's out there, but I don't try and actively squash it until somebody tries to actively squash me. Then it's like, oh, it's game on. Then now you've got a motherfucker on your tail. So
back to the topic was on previously though with Cam. What I would love to see, like Cam kind of run, is a qualification in sprint coaching. So instead of having an ASCA coaching qualification or a British swimming nonsense coaching qualification, like I don't have, you can be like a certified sprint coach where you've been educated by not necessarily Cam, but someone who's, professional at delivering what Cam's learned. And you can then run a proper sprint program that makes swimmers faster and love the sport and not just get slow all year round on the hope of a taper. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see sprint qualifications in swimming. And I think, Cam's thesis could be a step in that direction.
Yeah, it'll be nice when we can really release. He can release it. It's his information. It's his stuff, and that's what I said to him. Like, let's talk about the basics. But in terms of like really diving into it, that's yours in the future that you can monetize and you can sell, and you know, maybe even certify people in some sort of training plans or whatever. I don't know, but it's really interesting. It's not so different that, you know, people aren't doing it. I'm not saying that. There's everybody's doing pieces of it. He's just kind of put it together for this one training environment to say, this is how I'm going to get maximal top end speed. And it's more of like what they're doing in track and field, where, you know, you have your guys that can run for 10 seconds and that's it, you know, and then you've got your guys that can run for 10 minutes and they're on completely different programs. And that's kind of, you know, swimming's always been like, hey, we start at 7 a.m., everybody dives in together, and we finish at 9 a.m. and everyone gets out together. That's always been swimming. That hasn't been track and field for 50 years, you know. So what the comparisons between the sports is like, hey, there's specialized athletes here, and we need to start to focus on that. And I think that's just what Cam and some others are doing, is saying, hey, this is a specialized event, and if you want to compete in it, you better start to specialize. So
yeah, I think it's, you know, you said like run for 10 seconds or run for 10 minutes. And actually it's more like, you know, he's trying to go 20 seconds and instead of going 46 seconds, you know, it's like he's even making it smaller. You know, he talks about that in the podcast. One of the parts I thought was most interesting was him saying like, no, I'm not training for the 100 at all. Like, no, I'm just trying to get from one end of the pool to the other end of the pool as fast as I can. And if I try to do both, I'm going to not be able to go all in on this 50 freestyle, and it's not going to be good. And interestingly enough, we've had some people on the pod this year that have also kind of, hey, I'm going to scale back. I'm just going to focus on the 50. Marcelo Cherigini was on here, right? Boom. Mm-hmm. He's just training for the 50, He swims 100. He goes 47. First time in a few years he had gone 47. It was almost the identical story. He kept training hard, kept doing what he was supposed to be doing. And he kept going slower and slower and slower, just like Cam was saying, you know, and then boom, he took a year off. And in just a couple of months, he was going faster in season than he was when he was in the best shape of his life, and blah, blah, blah.
And listen, it's beyond this argument that keeps coming up of this Michael Andrew argument. And Michael Andrew does zero resistance work.
It's crazy.
Cam McAvoy does 95% resistance work. So when you're comparing USRPT and Michael Andrew to Cam McAvoy and what he's doing, they're completely different systems. They're not training the same way. Yes, he's training speed and all out, but he's doing it in a completely different way than Michael Andrew. So it's not USRPT. So stop getting caught up in this. All Cam's doing is swimming fast. He's doing gymnastics. He's doing, incredible gym work. Michael Andrew's doing none of that. None of it. Okay. So the strength training that he's doing, the resistance, the power, that's what Cam is doing. It's completely different to USRPT.
We've said that. Go ahead, Sonny.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Tom said a lot of people tried it like Andrew and USRPT, but even if USRPT was similar, which is not, that's one person. Two, no one's tried USRPT. There's not been like a massive cohort or onboarding of people doing USRPT over the years, even after Michael's success with that type of training. And while, yes, resistance training exists in swimming, nothing has been as specific as what Cam's done. So I don't think loads of people have tried it over the years. There's only outliers. Cam trained on his own with the guidance of Tim. You know, Ben and Flo are training pretty much on their own with the guidance of a few coaches. There's Dylan's training on his own. There's a few sprinter guys who are working on the 50s, Nick Santos, but they're on their own. There's not like support networks or groups or training centers for this type of training. And if you actually want to go to one of your supported national centers, they will do anything but let you train like this. So it's not been done a lot over the years, and there's nowhere to go unless you're sort of able to run it on yourself. We're so lacking. There will be people who would have, like, if Cam never done this, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And he would go down as a 100 freestyler who had an average 53, a 21.6. And now we're talking about the third fastest guy in history who's looking more likely to break the world record than anyone we've seen in the last 13 years because he took a chance on himself. I think there's so much more to this, and there needs to be ways to support athletes who might have this capability should they have somewhere to go.
That being said, the USRPT thing is not crazy different. Like Cam sat there and said, like, you should sprint as much as you can every day. Like that is essentially the thesis of USRPT, but
it was how much you spend at race pace or beyond.
Right.
And that's what Michael does, and that's what Cam does in a different way. It's the same concept in a different way. Yeah.
Which is totally awesome. If that's why when Michael Andrew finally starts doing actual things like power towers, like it's crazy he's never used one and he's as fast as he is. You know?
Well, the similarity is that we're not using aerobic training as the base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like pure aerobic training in the sense of that there's aerobic components to anaerobic speed work, right? Like you can't have anaerobic without aerobic. They're the one in the same. They're on the continuum together. So you can't not have aerobic training if you're doing anaerobic training, but it's not the regular building of the base to say, hey, we're going to go 5,000 of just light, easy swimming at a heart rate of 130.
Zone 2, right?
Yeah, that kind of crap. So it's like that's what they're getting away from there. And but yeah, look,
and that's still like a huge thing too, Brett. Like you just see them all on Twitter. Like these guys just love Zone 2. Everyone, Kurt was here, he's Zone 2 champion of the world. You know, and there's a place for Zone 2 for people that aren't swimming the 50 freestyle.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get into
just the 50 freestyle. You don't need 3100s.
I am going to get Dave Salo on record tomorrow. We're going to record this, and this is going to be one of my specific questions with Salo. So I'm going to get him. He put it such a beautiful way because he knows the science. I mean, he's got a PhD in this stuff, so he's written books on it. But he put it so well. And look, he applied his theories to Us Maluli, you know, and he won. Not only did he win the 1500, he won the 10K at the Olympics, and he used these theories. So you know, in terms of trying to dig into that a little bit, we'll do that as well. Megan, I know that you want to be a 50 freestyle desperately, right?
Absolutely. I was always a little bit jealous of that stuff, but I think it's really exciting for swimming though. Like I feel like Cam has made it a little bit more exciting. Because there are new ways and new paths that, and it might not be new for you guys, but people, you know, watching swimming and watching how to swim, even a 50 or 100, like there's, you know, you can do it not easier, but smarter. I think that's exciting. And I think you should always be learning. I think in swimming, it's a sport that you should always be learning in. If you're not learning, then you're probably not going to get any faster. So I say, yeah, good on Cam. And I think, you know, those countries going to have to support him, like Swimming Australia have to support that and not just, you know, squash, like, you know, oh, you're just a sprint program, don't worry about it. You know, encourage that to be a pure base sprinting program. Or if it's a mid-distance program, like whatever kind of it is, you need to kind of definitely have that support and financial backing behind it because, you know, otherwise Cam only gets one shot. And, but yeah, I found his podcast with you guys so interesting. He loves it. Like he's just so specific in detail. And I think that's the key is detail. It's not overall, yeah, I just swim 50 freestyle, rip and grip. It's so much more. So
yeah.
And
interesting.
And to your point, I mean, that's what Cam was saying too. He feels like Australia and Rohan Taylor giving him the opportunity to go and do this little program. He couldn't have done it anywhere else. That's what he was trying to say. Now I think you're right. It's going to open up the floodgates and someone like a Rohan Taylor is going to be like, yeah, this thing worked. Like who else wants to come and do this? You know, it made me think over the last couple of weeks, like how many guys and gals that are out there that like swam at a normal college program that were 18.5 in the 50-yard freestyle that never really gave long course a chance, that never really gave sprinting a chance to you could in 12 months, if you did a program like this, man, you really could surprise yourself. And all of a sudden we might have someone show up at Olympic trials, swimming the 50 freestyle that we hadn't heard of or seen for several years.
Hey guys,
it's exciting.
It's 8 o'clock. I got to run.
No sweat.
I got stuff to do. I'll talk to you. Bye.
Good to catch up.